Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations presents Dark Queen Ascension, The Fallen. And as promised, in this video, we're going to do a little bit of carousing, of gathering of rumors, trying to get information from the people of Gundabarg and the Dragon Turtle Inn where we've been staying. So we're going to talk to a bunch of people. We're going to talk to the barkeep. We're going to talk to a lady that might be able to build the figurehead for the ship. We're going to talk to Matilda and Shimber. And then we're going to talk to a guy that might know a little bit about Aruathator. So we're going to go through all of that right after this. Stay with me. Okay, so you're in the Dragon Turtle Inn, and you step up to the barmaid. And as you come in, there's on the wall, and there's almost the size of a window is this mat with this map, which I think you've seen a couple times, with all the territories of all the dragons of Faerun. And as you stand at the barkeep from 10 feet away from the bar, you impressed with our map? And you look it over and you say, "Oh yes, we are interested in this map, and we'd be interested in any information you could tell us, as we are heading we're taking our ship north, and we are heading into the Sea of Moving Ice in pursuit of Aruathator, and perhaps would you happen to know of a tiefling in sorceress robes that might have come some while ago?" And so the barkeep looks at you for a second and says, "Well, yes, it was a while back. A female tiefling did come through, matching that description. Yes, she also had quite an interest in our map, and she made quite additions. Matter of fact, I think we comped her stay at the inn because she provided so much information for our map. And so she met your description, a tiefling in sorceress robes. She came through. So you want to learn, what do I know about her? All I know is she came through with her companions and was heading also to the Sea of Moving Ice as you are. She was also interested in what we knew of Aruathator. And we told her what we knew. We told her the stories as we know it. Aruathator was Aruathator was orphaned as a wormling when his entire family were slaughtered by the Archmage Tulrun. He spent much of his life plotting revenge against his family's killer. Aruathator sent the first of many waves of attackers against Tulrun's tent, his enemy's stronghold. 10 years later, Tulrun met Aruathator face to face, not looking to kill him, but to parley. Aruathator agreed not to attack the civilized parts of the Silver Marches in exchange for Tulrun, leaving him alone. Aruathator gained fame in the early 1300s, so they say, for slaying the red dragon Rathalarag above the city of Neverwinter, as well as the sorceress Sharira when he smashed her tower in his triumph. He was also known for killing the host tower mage Foraflin over a Netherese spellbook, and the blue dragon Altagrathulor during a visit to a mage fair in the Var the Golden. Aruathator was among the dozen or so dragons that attacked the host tower of the Arcane in Luskan. Because of Samaster's rage of dragons in 1373. And now it all seems to be happening again. When part of the tower fell, when the part of the Tower of Arcane fell, Aruathator made off with a good deal of magical items. And come to think of it, Maccath, you say is her name, she was very curious about those magical items. Yes, and as it is believed that Aruathator makes his home in the iceberg called Oya Vigaten, within the Sea of Moving Ice. It's also said that Aruathator with his son Orbengris, they've allied with the Orcs and Drow forces and served the Dark Queen. Relationships. Or, if we look here in the book here, Arthur's first mate was Galantratra, the old mother worm, but seemingly did not care for when she was killed. Aruathator's mate was our local Aruathator. They have offspring, including the Arbarguntus. Aruathator's mother was the spawn of Oril, Snai Thenglin. She, her mate, and all of Aruathator's siblings have been killed. That's the extent of our knowledge, and I pray that you can find good graces, and I have no idea if Maccath is still with us. It's been quite a while. So, hopefully good luck, and come back. We'd love to hear your tale, and if there's if you can add to our logs, our information on map, we will also comp you free stay and free drink. Now, be well. Farewell. Fine, I will tell you more about my brother Ronaldo. Ronaldo has a curse on him. The clerics haven't resolved it yet. He wakes up in the morning with a paralysis, and the clerics haven't been able to cure him, but they have told us that if we find a healing stone, they believe they could prevent or mitigate this paralysis. What clues do I have of the location of this healing stone? Why was it significant to sail north? The stone was last known to be in the possession of a pirate. The pirate's name was Xertes Steel. Xertes was renowned for sneaking up on ships and stealing cargo before they even knew where they were, or knew where they were being robbed. Xertes, I understand, has retired and is hiding with her treasure in some submerged fortress somewhere in the trackless sea. Now, north of the Purple Rocks is a town on the north side of the islands of Purple Rocks. There's a town of Trisk. In the waters north of that town, there's a submerged city, a long-destroyed underwater elven city. And it seems plausible that if this Xertes were to make a fortress, this destroyed underwater elven city would be a prime location, don't you think? It is certainly worth checking out. So, that is why we wanted to travel north. That is why we wanted to sail to the north, to hopefully check out this submerged city that goes by the Askarl is its name. So, if it's within your reason, if at all we could make this trip, we'd appreciate it, and maybe we could find this healing stone. Let me get this straight. You want a bust of a female hill giant for a figurehead for your ship? Are you certain you want a female hill giant? Perhaps we could take some creative license with the beauty of this hill giant. We could make her busty for your crew, and pleasantries of the eye, and perhaps you could convince this dilly roar that it is her. But I think you want something more attractive than a female hill giant. Yes, I can do it. I'll carve it from wood. It'll be very, very ornate and very beautiful, and I should be able to do that. So let's see. To do this, come back in a couple weeks' time, and it should take me most of 2 weeks. How much you say? How much can you put on a piece of art that would lead on the front of your ship? It'll be magnificent. And it'll be the talk of the town. It'll be so beautiful. So let's see. What can we do here? I think we're talking, it's going to be quite expensive. I'm thinking with the delicate nature and the art involved here, I'm thinking 5,000 gold pieces. Yes, that should do it. If you would like to come back, if you come back on the morrow, then I will show you some designs. I will spend the evening drawing up some pictures for your approval. And with your approval, if you like, you can talk it over with your captain, and we can get started, and we should have this done in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. Perhaps we'll see you in the morning. So, you'd like to know about the Sea of Moving Ice? Well, the first thing I would tell you is that you should have your cold gear ready. Your furs. I hope you've stocked up for you and your crew. I know we're in the milder temperatures now, but you would not want to get caught in a storm without your cold gear. You travel north. You travel north from here. You travel north from Gunbarg. You travel north from Gunbarg to Orlisburg or Svarsborg, but you don't stop. It'll take, by a sailing ship, it should take 4 days, 4 half days, 4 and a half days, most likely, for your ship to travel to Orlisburg, and then another day or two to enter into the ice. You get into the ice. There's creatures there. First, in the water itself, you will find the great beasts, the great floating beasts, the whales of the north, hunted for their oil by the ice hunters. They're shy, never hostile. The ice hunters, they should leave you alone, but they are the eyes and ears of the very thing I believe you seek. The adult white dragon, Aruathator, known as Old White Death. His massive lair is an iceberg called Oivigaton. If you can manage the currents of the bergs of the ice, the floating sea of death, the floating sea of ice, the sea of moving ice, if you survive the currents in the ice that would rather tear your ship apart than let you pass, you travel within the ice, and you keep traveling until you see a massive berg, and near you'll find your Aruathator. You will get close, but you won't get as close as you want, so you'll take your rowboat up the channels, where you'll find the firmest shoring of Oivigaton. There you will need to get past the ice hunters, who will certainly make him aware you're there if he hasn't known already. Of course, to even get there, you would need to pass the Remoras. What are the Remras? Well, let me tell you. The Remras from beneath the snow and ice burst this creature in a cloud of steam, its body pulsing with an internal fire. Wing-like fins flare from the back of the creature's head, its insectoid body segments like a centipede. It brims with wide-mouthed brims with jagged teeth. The Arctic predators, the Remorazes, live in these climates, preying on elk, polar bears, and other creatures sharing their territory. They can't tolerate the warm weather. They've adapted to the cold by generating furnace-like heat within their bodies. When they hunt, the Remoraz burrow deep below the snow and ice and lie in wait for the faint vibrations created by a creature moving above it. While hidden under the ice and snow, it can lower its body temperature so that it doesn't melt its cover. And then all at once it'll burst forward and trap its prey, consuming it in a whole swallow before it even knew it was being attacked. So, the Ramas, you'll want to watch for them. Yes, they have whales, we have seals, we have bears, all sorts. But Aruathator is the queen of the sky over the sea of moving ice. However, under the water, if you spend more than a day traversing the cold waters, the sea of moving ice, you'll want to pay tribute to Aruathator, the great sea beast. He will demand tribute. How much? Oh, I'm sure he'll tell some hefty price, so make sure you have something that he'll find worthy. Only you won't know until you pay, and only then will you know if it's worthy or not. You will have to find it for yourself. So, you brave the ice, you brave the beasts of the sea, you brave the queen of the sky, and if you survive, come back. I'd like to hear your story. I almost forgot. If you do have the gumption to go to the sea of moving ice, perhaps we could come to accord there. If those Remoras, if you were to encounter those, if you were to defeat them, I might be interested in paying you for their carcass, for their chitin, their skin, it makes an armor, and I can sell that. So, if you were to bring me the chitin of the Remoraz, I give you 100 gold pieces per exoskeleton. Within the Remoraz, they have a sack that holds their furnace that they use to heat their body. If you can bring me those sacks, that secretion sack, that's also where they spit their venom, so it comes from this sack. But if you can bring me that sack, I will give you 100 gold pieces for each sack you bring me. Now, if you're really lucky and brave enough to find an actual nest of the Remoraz, and you can find their eggs, I would give you 100 gold pieces for each egg. Now, ultimately, I have a buyer. If you were to find a male and a female and somehow capture them live and bring them back to me, I can arrange to sell them for 5,000 gold pieces. That would be quite the payday. Now, with this, the Remoraz, the exoskeleton, the sacks, all of this, we must keep this a secret. In fact, if you were to tell someone of this deal, I would deny it entirely. We must maintain complete secrecy. If word gets out and I learn of it, the deal is off, and I will deny ever making the request. In a show of good faith, let me give you a knife for the butchering of the Remoraz. and he pulls out this long curved knife, probably 18 inches, and the blade isn't on the outside. This is not for battle. It would be useless in battle, but as a sharpness is the tip and then the inside of the curve, and it's almost a full circle, just probably 6 inches of opening where, and he starts. So to use this, you insert it near under the beast's skin, under its chin, and you wrap it around and you drag it down through its chest, splitting it open. Now, be very careful not to get any of the guts of the beast on you. It can be very corrosive. You will not want this on your boat, on your ship. But if you clean it and you take that sack and you take the exoskeleton, I would very much be interested in that. Or if you somehow were able to capture it alive. Oh, yes, male and a female. Not 2 males, not 2 females. Male and a female. We have one of each. We bring it and we can sell it for 5,000 gold pieces. So, what have you? What say you? Would you bring me back this? Let me know. I'll be here. You ask for Jeffrey Farlight. Jeffrey Farlight. Barkeep will know where I am. I hope you come back. We'll see you in a week or 2, perhaps. Take care. Good luck. So there you go. We met with 4 different people. We first met with the barkeep, who gave you a nice background, the map with all the dragons on it, and some information about Maccath and the Sea of Moving Ice. Then we slid into Matilda, who gave you a little bit more background on her brother, his condition, and why they wanted to go to the north. And then we talked to Alice. We spoke with Alice Laughingsteel, who took the job of carving the figurehead for the ship, and incredulous and couldn't believe you wanted to do it out of a hill giant, but she negotiated with you and you came up to an accord. And from there we then talked to Jeffrey Farlight. Jeffrey Farlight, who had a lot of information about the Sea of Moving Ice, the creatures that were there, how long it would take you, as well as information about Aruathator and where his lair is. And so we figured all that out. And then finally, he had a business opportunity, a secretive business opportunity. We'll have to see if you take that on. So I had fun doing it. I won't lie, it was a lot of work, but I had fun doing it, so that didn't matter, right? So if you don't mind, if you like this, if you don't mind hitting that like button, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and if you hit the notification bells if you want to get alerts when these get created. And I guess we'll see what happens. If you have any thoughts about anything else you'd like me to expand on, I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Type in there what you think you'd like me to expand on, and maybe I can do that. So otherwise, we'll wait until Thursday and we'll see what happens, right? I guess until then, take care. See you then.